Okay. Okay. So welcome to our today's class. I warmly welcome to our online lifelong study circle where we try to fill the gaps in our life. We try to learn those things which our schools they did not teach us. Our parents, our school, our society, they did not teach us, and these gaps are very important for our personal development. So we do teach every Sunday these things. Nowadays, we are study a very important topic of consciousness, but before I brief you what these topics about, but today basically our class is about acceptance, and that is the main topic of today. So we are, but before going into acceptance, I'm going to share you a couple of things before acceptance and what does mean by acceptance, what the level of consciousness it is, how it is relevant with your personal development, or if you are struggling with your relationships with your spouse or children, or if you are struggling, if you have a uh, anger issue, guilty issue, if you have some other psychological problem, then how this notion of acceptance will help you to improve your quality of relationship, and that we are going to learn today. But before I'm going to learn today, I just want to introduce myself. um, I'm Maratib Alishad. There is my website you can visit where I write and I share the content related with developmental psychology, um, personal development, in philosophy, science, spirituality, and enlightenment. I am specialist. I'm very keen student. Sociology, business, and more importantly, the happiness. These are my topics where I do research, and I create the content for you and for me as well. You can search for my YouTube channel, which is a spiritual classroom. You can subscribe as well. My name is Maratib Ali Shah, and I'm right now in UK, London. That's my home. Okay, so let's go to our today's class, and I want to tell you about consciousness. The consciousness, anybody knows what does it mean by consciousness? Anybody can unmute the mic and you can speak what a brief understanding about consciousness.
That consciousness is something like you do something with a purpose, and
Well done.
or you do or say something with a purpose, with
Yeah,
by thinking about it or by a feeling, sense of feeling.
yeah, yeah,
And
that's right. Yes, Gisha?
consciousness is also what we are aware of.
Oh, wow. Well, then that is also very, very appropriate. Well done. Uh, so basically, the consciousness is something which is controlling and which is covering entire universe, what we see, including myself and including what lies outside of me. Everything consciously which we know and we are aware of, even we are unaware of, that also comes in unconsciousness, but we are not aware, but it does not mean that it does not come in consciousness. So everything in the universe, including myself or outside, that comes in consciousness. But we as a human being, we have a limited um, brain capacity to accept, to absorb, to perceive the consciousness. And therefore, because of this limitation, we are not aware all the time. We forget, we become distracted by the deception, we become distracted by illusions around us, and therefore we are not aware all the time. And then we fell down in lower level of consciousness. And we are studying these levels of consciousness in last couple of months. My friend, my colleague, Jenny Root, she has been a very consistent as a my coordinator and also managing these classes, and also as a student as well. So she knows about more what I'm talking about. But let's go forward. What does it mean by consciousness level? If you see this chart, everyone can see this map chart. That is a map of consciousness, right? And what does it mean by map of consciousness? These are 17 levels of our consciousness, and everyone is lie on one of those conscious level in any stage of your life, beyond your age, your gender, your country, your language. Anyone lies within these 17 levels, and that map is designed by Dr. David Hawking, and I have taken these things from the book, The Map of Consciousness Explained. Dr. David Hawking is one of the world influential psychiatrists, and also he is an authority in spirituality. So I'm referring his map of consciousness. Now, if you see here, I'm just, if you are a newcomer, then I want to tell you, anybody who have a suicidal thoughts or who living a depression, experiencing based life, anybody is not happy, anybody is feeling suppressed, oppressed, or feeling shame. This is the lowest level. If you see here, that is the lowest level that person is living. And if we go up, so that level of our awareness, that level of our consciousness will increase towards positivity. Okay. So after shame, we will experience guilt. And after guilty, we become hopeless and experience apathy. The next level, we feel grief and sorrow and tragedy by losing someone or by losing a loss of anything. Then that shift into the little higher consciousness, and we become victim of fear. Lot of fears. When we come out from the fear, then we try to make some goals in life. Okay, we desire to become, we desire to achieve something. But of course, because we are on a lowest level of consciousness, we will not achieve our goals. But what we will do, we will feel disappointments, but we still crave. It's better to desire something than to be in fear, than to be in grief. It's better to desire to living a guilt-based life, shameful life. But when we don't get our desirable goal, then we become angry. So the next level is we become anger. So a lot of people, they have anger issue, but anger is better than what you desire for. Anger is better than if you have a fear in your life. Anger is better than if you are not in shame and guilt. So, you know, these levels of consciousness in sequence, every lowest level have a higher level, and that higher level has more higher level. So we need to aware about this. So that is all about awareness, all about consciousness. So when we become angry, because of our anger, we achieve something, okay? Because of aggression, we achieve something. For example, I have my personal development goals, I have my financial goal, I start to achieve my relationship goals, I find some purpose of my life. So under this aggression, under this ego, and then I start to feel pride, okay? That pride could be I achieve something, I belongs to someone, I belongs to my country, I belongs to my language, I belongs to my religion, I belongs to my gender, I belongs to a lot of things you start to pride with, okay? Now, but this, let me show you, okay. Now, once we pass over the pride, we enter into the courageous life, okay? This is the starting point of your transformation of life, okay? Where your energy is 200, okay? And that is first fulcrum, first axis where you start to change your life now. All these levels which I mentioned you, all these levels are the lowest level of unconsciousness, okay? These are lowest level of consciousness. If you lie on these levels for longer term, it means that you will feel depressed, you have a health issue, you have a mental stress, you may have relationship problem, you will live a very uncontrollable thoughts all the time. You know, the thoughts are coming all the time. You do not have control. You're living a mediocre life. You're living a life which leads to failure, okay? But once you reach at courageous level, okay, then you start to feel empowered, okay? And then you become neutral, you become very positive, okay? Let me show you from here. Then you feel positive. Then after this, you start to willingness to achieve anything. You start to feel in living in optimism, living in your dream to fulfill. You start to gain trust of the people. You've been very positive and ready to help other, and you have a big spectrum on that life, okay? Until this, when you are you have willingness as a level of consciousness where your energy is 310 out of 1000, you are optimistic, you have great attention, and you always hopeful, you inspiring the other, okay? Then you enter into the next level, which is the topic of today, and that is acceptance, okay? Which has 350 energy level out of 1000, okay? So we are here, okay? That's I wanted to tell you, we are here. This is our topic of today, okay? And I'm sure you know what the sequence we are studying here, okay? And this is the acceptance. Everybody is clear that what we are going to study? Okay, well done. Okay, okay, we have another Yasmin Shanir. Hi, Yasmin. Thank you for joining us. So let's continue our topic, and that is acceptance. We will read as well, and we will understand what does it mean by acceptance? And this notion of acceptance is important because mostly problem between husband and wife, between men and women, between one nation to another nation, between one culture to another culture, between host and immigrant, between what is called the owner of the business and the employee. So these all issues and conflict happens when we do not reach on this level of acceptance. This acceptance to someone is a result of my own consciousness level where I'm standing it. So if let's come back to our conscious map of consciousness. So if I am lying here, then my acceptance level towards other and to me is very, very narrow. I will not accept other people. I will not accept other cultures. I will not, I will make boundaries between all other people and me, all other nation and culture and language and religion and me. And that's why this acceptance is a very highest level of consciousness. And what happens in acceptance, that's we are going to study, that's we are going to know that. So I have taken some of the text from the book, The Map of the Consciousness, which we are going to study now. So I would request my colleague Jenny Ruth, if you can start reading, then we can go further. So Jenny, if you can start reading, please.
Energy level 350, acceptance. At this level of awareness, a major transformation takes place. With the understanding that one is the source and creator of the experience of one's life, oneself. Taking such responsibility is distinctive in this degree of evolution, characterized by the capacity to live harmoniously with the forces of life. All people at levels below 200 tend to be powerless to see themselves as victims at mercy of life.
Thank you. It's a great reading. That's right. So it's saying that below 200 energy level, everyone feel powerless, victim, and the mercy of the life. Let's go back to our consciousness map again. So below 200, so this is a free energy, okay? And below all these energies are your negative energies, okay? These are all a low level of consciousness. When you are pride, you are angry, you start to achieve some goal. It's better, but not best. You are in fear, you are in grief, you are hopeless, you are in guilty, you are in shame, okay? So so these are the things which he is talking about. Below 200, we feel that we are victim, okay? And we don't know what the life is going to be with me. I don't know. So people are very, very skeptical, very, very skeptical. And on below 200, all people, they start to blame other. You, hey, you are responsible for my life. Hey, dad, you. Hey, mom, you. Hey, my wife, you. Hey, husband, my husband, you. So you are blaming everyone or one of outside of you of your current status, of your current emotional state, of current life. And this blaming is the biggest problem, because you are not happy because you think that you are not happy because of him, because of her, because of them. And that trap does not allow you to become happy, because the problem is it is not because of them, it is not because of her, it is not because of him, it is because of you. You are the source of happiness. No one is the source of happiness. If you are sad because of, and you are related to someone, and this is your own world which is creating this deception, this illusion, and rather than to accept the responsibility, you start to blaming other, and that you will keep doing all over the during the whole span of life. And that is the biggest problem of our worlds today. Okay, every husband, unhappy husband, saying, I don't have a good wife, otherwise I was a wonderful individual. I had a bad husband, I had a cheated husband, I had a, or I have a poor husband. If my husband would be a rich person, my husband would be a that person, I would be a great lady, or blah blah. So this is the problem. Below 200, below 200, we are in here. But then what is the true in this? Because when we are in state of acceptance, okay, then nothing so-called out there has the capacity to make one happy, okay? Then the love is not something given or taken away by another, but created from within. So your love, if you are not the packet of love, if you are not the source of love, you will stop to blame others. You start to take responsibility because you are lack of love, or you are under the clouds of lower status of consciousness. Okay, once these clouds are going to be away from you, then a new light start to appear. A beam of hope, beam of love start to open, and then you start to love everyone. But before start to love everyone, this love needs to be feel within you. So the journey of acceptance start within you by creating and accepting as a love within you. Okay, you are the packet of love. Your love is surrounded by clouds, black clouds of lower consciousness. Your love, your heart is surrounded by guilt, apathy, pride, depression, anxiety, desire. So these all lower consciousness is surrounded by your heart. That's why your love is not coming out from within you, and therefore it does not reach to others. And therefore, because of this lackness, you start to feel that he or she is responsible for my unhappiness, whether it is not true. Okay, acceptance is not to be confused with passivity, which is a symptom of hopelessness or apathy. This form of acceptance allows engagement in life on life's own terms without trying to make or conform to an agenda. Okay, always remember that the life is separate from the agenda what you trying to make. Life is just living in a present time. Life is something which is beyond any agenda. Life is something which does not feel any worry or any negative emotion. Okay, have you seen a leaf which shot from the tree? Have you seen a cat? Have you seen a tree, a flower, a fruit, a vegetable? They all are growing and living at their place, and they do not have any negative energy. They do not have any sadness. Okay, they do not live on a lower emotional or a lack of uh, low conscious level. Why? Because they are not human being. Okay, that's unfortunately our human mind is deceptive by the lowest conscious level, and that's why they do not live the life as full. They try to blame other, or they try to make some agenda against other, or they have a checklist, and these are all deception which we create. Okay, however, when we are at the level of acceptance here, okay, with level of acceptance there is our emotional calm, and the perception is widened as the denial is transcendent. And what does it mean by denial? If you go back to the map of consciousness, when we lie here, okay, on a low emotional level, we are in denial stage, okay? But when we are in acceptance level, this denial will be transcendent to the higher conscious level, okay, which we are studying every Sunday, every week, okay? So if you want to transform your fear, your denial, your state of depression, your worries, your unstoppable thoughts to the higher level of consciousness, then you need to work on and accept the world as it is, not accept the world how you want to portray the world. You are portraying your husband, you are portraying your wife according to you. You are not seeing your husband and wife as they are, okay? Because we label them according to our own understanding, according to our own prejudiced, biased attitude or wrong knowledge which we gather in our mind about someone. When we are out of these uncontrollable negative thoughts, or the lost emotional state, lost conscious state, then we start to give love to other, which is coming from me, okay? So by born we have love, but when we are growing and because of the deceptive world, our love start to cloudy with these lost social and emotional and conscious states of level. Oh, and now let's go further, and how we can accept my wife as fully, how I can accept my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my employee, my boss, the other culture fellow, any other person who is other, and how I can groom. So let's a little bit read as well. So anybody can read it, please. Anybody can read these two lines on the screen. Yeah,
One now sees things without distortion or misinterpretation. The context of experience is expanded so that one is capable of seeing the whole picture. Acceptance has to do essentially with balance, proportion, and appropriateness.
thank you. It's a great reading. So you know, so see the other person as a whole person. That's very well taught and instructed by Dr. Stephen Covey, who is my favorite author as well, that once we start to see your husband or your wife as a whole person, not only that he or she belongs to you, then you will able to have a compassion and you start to accept a other person. Okay, these, it has to be balanced, and you need to be out of your biased or limited view about others. Okay, so that is the problem where we do not accept other. Okay, but the whole person, like your husband or your wife, is a mind, and that mind may have lot of connection. Not only you, that mind has lot of creativity, goals, and lot of desire to achieve. Not only what you think about your spouse. Okay, your your spouse is a body where he or she wants to move and spend time with friend and family, with other. Don't try to control your spouse. Okay, he or she has a right to take choices based on his or her freedom. Okay, then it comes as a heart that your spouse has a lot of emotion. Don't try to take the flow of the emotion only for you. Let it to be open for everyone. Okay, your spouse may be a daughter, a brother, a sister, a son, and it could be in many roles. Let these emotions to flow with any roles. Okay, see your emotion, your partner as a whole person. Okay, not only for you, that he or she is serving you. And this is not only for husband and wife or in a family um, orientation, but this we can consider anyone in the world which you are going to concern or related as a whole person. Okay, so this paradigm, this lens, we need to follow in order to accept other. This a level of consciousness we need to achieve. Okay, and that is important. In this level of acceptance, there is not right and wrong as such. Okay, everyone has a everyone has uh, as a right to say something. Okay, but you are not debating or in any conflict that, oh, you are right and I am wrong, or they are right and they are wrong. And these right wrong debate is very um, subjective and relevant. Okay, you could be little bit more right, you could be little bit more wrong, but nobody is absolute right or nobody is absolute wrong. Okay, these right and wrong notions are very comparatively, very relatively. Okay, so that's why don't label anyone they are wrong, and don't try to sabotage other, and also don't try to be what we call it as in self-love by saying that you always wrong. Okay, in level of acceptance, they, we need to understand these levels of right and wrongs. Okay, and mostly people, they are not interested. Okay, in my level of consciousness, when I am accepting everyone, I don't care that everyone is right or wrong or what they think about other or they other, I never consider these things. Okay, because these are not matter for me. So let's try to read it. And if I will ask Annie Mary, oh, I think it's A
Yes,
Mary.
I'm here.
Oh, hi. Can you read it a couple of lines for me, please?
Okay. The individual at the level of acceptance is not interested in determining right or wrong, but instead is dedicated to resolving issues and finding out what to do about problems. Tough jobs do not cause discomfort or dismay. Long-term goals take precedence over short-term ones. Self-discipline and mastery are prominent. Right
Excellent. That's
or
a
wrong?
great reading. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
you're very welcome. Thank you. So in this acceptance, okay, we are not interested who is right and wrong. That's very much. By the way, if you have a question and you want to comment on any of the things which I'm saying or we reading, you have a right to say, you have a right to describe whether in favor or you have some other interpretation what I'm saying here. So it is a two-way classroom, um, and you have a completely right to share anything. You can comment, you can uh, ask a related question. So free feel to speak because we are going to finish this class in next few minutes. Okay, so in this level of acceptance, okay, we do not involve ourselves in any conflict because of diversity. We feel and we know that everyone is equal. Okay, my husband has the same priority, the same feeling as I am the wife, and wife and husband both are equal, okay, at their level. Other culture people, my culture people are the same, but we are in different capacities, in different strengths. I accept it. I accept it that other people love their language as I do. I accept that other people love their religion as I do. I I accept that if other people do not um, control or do not like my culture, okay, I accept it because everyone has a right, okay, but I do not have a right uh, to curse someone, to look down upon, to to say other ridicule, to feel superior to other, okay. So these all is a part of acceptance, okay. You are accepting the world as they are, okay. You are not in any polarization. Unfortunately, our whole world is integrated into polarization, okay. There is a racism, there is a religious extremism, there is a terrorism, there is a lot of movements on a mass or public level against other for their rights, okay, because we are not ready to accept other people's right as it is. And this rigidity is because majority nation of our world are lie on lowest level. We majority lie here. Sorry, let me clear it.
I have a question.
So we majority are living in these levels. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, and pride. We do not have courage to, to go to the higher level, to become neutral, to will to help other, to accept other. Okay. Until we are not accepting other, we will not get virtue of reasoning. So reasoning is the next blessing you will get. And that is the next level of our consciousness, which we will read next week, next Sunday. But let's come back to our acceptance in the last page, and let's start to read it. I would request Siri Canton, are you able to read these lines for us? Or
Yeah,
Gisha,
I'll
you
try.
can read. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Siri Canton, you
Yeah,
can
no
do
problem,
it.
no problem. Let her read, let her read.
Okay, thank you.
At the level of acceptance, we are not polarized by conflict or opposition. We see that other people have the same rights as we do, and we honor equally. We honor equally. While lower level are categorized by rigidity. At this level, social polarity begins to emerge as a form of resolution of problems. Therefore, this level is free of discrimination or intolerance. There is awareness that equality does not how do you say that word? Percolate diversity. I'm not so good at reading sometimes.
Yeah.
Acceptance includes rather than rejects.
Excellent. That's a great reading. Thank you, Gisha.
Thank you. I'm a little bit dyslexic sometimes, so I can switch. Yeah. So thank
That's
you.
Absolutely on the spot. I really appreciate.
There you
So,
go.
in this level of acceptance, if you see that our mostly world global nations, they are turning into a global plural societies. For example, the society where I'm living in London, there are more than 150 nation people. They are living in London. They are working with each other beyond their identities. Okay, they all living a very collective, very harmonious life. When like my majority customers belongs to lot of different ethnicities. Okay, and I never differentiate based on their ethnicity. I just consider them, we all are individual, great souls, and I need to serve them. And that is the only thing which I look for beyond that. And that is the beauty of in level of acceptance, because this level of acceptance is a plurality gives you, where we all live together, the same like the society in New York, the same the society or the people living in Dubai, the people living in Australia, people living in Canada, people living in all other regions where a lot of different people with different backgrounds, they are not discriminating each other. Even in UK and America, and other countries as well, I'm sure, there are strict laws if you discriminate other at the workplace, then you will be penalized and it will be punishable, and these are crimes. Before these were never happened. Okay, so there is a good news that when we all work together, okay, then we come to this level of acceptance. Okay, I give you an example. There are many cities in the world where same type of people live in millions, okay? But if you see the crime rate there, if you see the social injustice there, if you see uh, the chaos and the unrest on these countries and cities there, where same like people live, you will come across that they will not be able to reach on this level of acceptance. Why? Because there is no diversity in their countries. There is no diversity in their societies. And therefore, they will not be on this level of acceptance, on this level of consciousness. So that is from me at the moment. So now I'm very much open to take your any question, or if you need any clarity, please feel free to ask now. And anybody can unmute the mic. Okay, you can come on the camera as well, or you can text as well your question. I will read for you as well. So feel free before I close this class for today. And the next class will be on reason. This is the next class topic. Let me show you here. This one. We will be focusing and reading this level of reason. And its free energy is very big, 400. Okay.
Yes,
And what does it mean by reason, and why this is so high on a conscious level? And this is the level where we start to become a wise, and our wisdom speaks in our action as well. So we will read it. So so let's go for let's keep on acceptance. So what do you think? You have any question about acceptance?
I have
I
a
guess,
question
Geisha.
about, yes, I've been having a question, so I'm just waiting for the right time. About the level of the energy, which you mentioned, acceptance is 350 energy, meaning frequency. Is that what you mean by, is that what they mean? Frequency and
Yes.
vibes. Yeah. Okay. So
That's
it's
right.
frequency. So the
That's
lower
right, frequency.
the lower frequency, because I didn't see ego. I assume ego it controls our the lower frequency, if I am
Yeah.
correct. What
Yeah.
am I correct on that?
Yeah, that's right.
Because the
The
ego is not mentioned there, but I assume it's because all these lower frequency is categorized under ego, correct?
under it. Well done. Well done. This is the amazing point you highlighted, Geisha.
Yeah.
These all lost emotion
Ego
by default are under ego.
and
By default, they are under ego.
under
That's
ego.
right.
Exactly.
Because they are operated by ego.
Right.
Well done.
And
They are-
acceptance, when we are not in the position or a state of mind of non-duality, we are accepting everything. So we harmonize, we are merciful, we are forgiveness. Is that right? My intake.
Yes, that's right. You are right. Absolutely. Well
And
done.
that's a 500, 300, acceptance is 350 frequency, which is.
Yes, 350 frequency. That's right.
Mhm.
And yeah, the people who are living in the society where our acceptance is in practice, okay, like London, New York, all global cities, okay, where there are laws against any discrimination, they are really, I mean, everybody should live there, okay, and they should practice their consciousness on a higher level.
I think
Well done.
meditation can help with the consciousness, a higher consciousness, I mean,
Yes,
or even make us aware of a lower consciousness so we can evolve.
absolutely. Well
Either
done.
way,
That's right.
either way, yeah. Mhm.
That's right. Meditation is a water which take you out from these lower emotion to the higher emotions and higher state of consciousness.
And then
When-
eventually to enlightenment. Exactly.
and eventually, this is our goal. This is our
Exactly.
goal of as a person, where you become a Superman, where you become a super girl, where you become a super soul. Okay, so this is our ultimate
Yes. And
destiny.
we can have dominion over everything that has over all our feelings. That means
Yeah.
complete control, right?
Complete control, where there will be no suffering, there will be no ego, there will be no any materialistic deception related reality for you, because you believe in non-duality. Actually, the non-duality will open, will unleash, will revealed when you are here. Okay, but still, if you are here, okay, slowly, gradually, you are going towards new non-duality. And but still you living with material life, okay, but as soon you live here, okay, the matter does not matter for you.
Mhm.
Okay, matter does not matter. You are just a spiritual person, okay,
Yeah.
where you can perform miracles, or you can go beyond normal humans capacity.
In your opinion, do you think enlightenment equals mindfulness?
No, the
No.
mindfulness comes somewhere here. When we are willingly, when we are accepting, when
Mhm.
we are giving reason, or when we are fully in love. So mindfulness lies somewhere here. So after mindfulness, we enjoy practice, we enjoy peace, we enjoy in states of enlightenment. But mindfulness is a tool, is a state of mind to go to the higher conscious level.
And to basically be mindful of how we talk, how we behave, how we interact, and all that. So I think, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. And how we talk, how we walk, how we
Exactly.
see the world, how we
Even
describe
how we
it,
eat.
how we
Even
eat,
how
that
we eat.
all. Let me show you from here. Mindfulness start from here.
Yeah.
You become courageous, you become neutral and very positive. You willingly to sacrifice and help other, and you start to accept other. So these are, you cannot do these things until you are mindful.
That's
So
right.
mindfulness further, it will drift you towards higher consciousness, in addition to meditation and other, of course, the great companionship with other people.
I mean, acceptance is truly great. It's truly
Yeah.
great. Because
Yeah.
once we accept, that means we give the right to animals to live as well as we have the right to live.
Absolutely, absolutely. You start to forgive your enemies, or you never call
Really is
them enemy,
great.
because you are going to transcend your soul to the next level. You don't concern with other, because you say that they are enemy. Why? Because until you are accepting other, they no longer your enemy. Now you turning your enemies into your friend, because you are forgiving, not because you were superior, because you see them differently. You see them that they are the soul, maybe on a lower conscious level, like I used to do. Once these clouds of the lower level of consciousness will wiped out, that person will no longer my enemy and will be my fellow, my
That's right.
soul fellow, and
That's
these optimism will amazing for that type of person. Absolutely. Well done. So anybody has any question or comment or thought about this thing. Yasmin, Sirikantan, Jenny, Arka. Oh, hello, Arka. Sorry, I didn't see you. Arka Samantha. Welcome to my class. Anne Mary. Okay. So anybody has question or you are convinced with this? So I would
Well-
like, yeah.
I've got one question. At what level of consciousness are you?
Myself.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's 14 hours.
that's I don't want to judge myself, but I have a feeling that I am here somewhere. I'm here, yeah, on this level. So I have like 500-600 frequency and energy. Okay. I feel very complete. I feel love with other people. I'm feeling oneness. So yeah, I feel that I am here. I'm still struggling and going towards high. Sometime the lowest consciousness, they want to push me down as well. Okay. So that my awareness level, it keep me maintain here. Okay. So yeah, it is it's going on. But I feel very happy that I'm here at the moment. But of course, my journey of the life started from shame. I was living a shameful life, guilty, lot of fears, and so these all things are transcending for me. I'm very blessed, and that's why I want to share this great news to other people, if they can also transform their life from the lowest to the highest. And this is the excellent roadmap which Dr. David Hawkins has set in written in the book form. I think in spirituality, hardly any guru has done this marvelous piece of work, because it's a mind-blowing, if somebody don't know about this work or this book, which we are learning today or from last couple of months, it means they do not know the path of truth. But you are lucky that you are in this class. I feel proud that you are in the class.
Thank you.
And I feel I'm as a student, I'm sharing these things with you as well.
I have something else to say. Enlightenment, which is the pure consciousness state, it is not the ultimate state because we are connected to the infinity.
Oh,
So
yes.
so what
Yeah.
we can evolve to, it's infinite. So the enlightenment, it's not the ultimate, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. At the advanced level, you're right that enlightenment is basically where you going to be merged into infinity. That was our origin, and that is our origin. Whether you call this infinity as a God, as a Allah, or as a Bhagwan,
Or a higher
whatever you
self
call.
or whatever. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so different people have name it, okay,
That's
but
right.
the concept or the ultimate reality is the same. Many religious people, they call this infinity as their God, and they go meet or they achieve or they meet of this infinity point through these enlightenment. The first enlightenment person we know, like Siddhartha Gautam Buddha, many people think that he was the first person who was enlightened, but but it could be before that as well. Krishna in Hindu civilization, he could be the one of the enlightened person. Jesus Christ was the enlightened person. Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad was the enlightened person. There are thousands of Buddhist monks, many Christian monks, many yogis in Hindu,
Yes.
many Sufis in Muslims, Muslim Sufi, and there are many non-religious people as well,
Mhm.
who all are on these points.
Enlightenment level. Yes.
Enlightenment point, yeah, they
Yes.
are Zen Buddhas, Buddhists, they are on enlightenment. Zen Buddhas are great, great people, amazing. And they, with the virtues of internet and with the virtues of too much publications, now this knowledge, this spirituality is spreading very, very fast, like a fire in the jungle. So that is a great news. And more good news is our women, ladies are more enlightened than men.
Do you think?
Yeah, and that is a great news because that is told by, and I'm observing myself, but Eckhart Tolle, if you know the Eckhart Tolle, who's the author of Power of Now, he said the women are more towards enlightenment in nowadays than men. And there are many reasons, I don't want to go in details, which I have a feeling that the woman or the lady, as not as a gender, but as a soul, they, because they have creation, power of creation, okay? They are mother of all things. Even women, they created men, okay? They birthed the man. So of course they are superior to men. They are, and they have a power of being in passion. Women are lovely and is of more lovable and loveful people, loveful soul than men, okay? They have less ego, okay, than men. And they are like a water. Their love spreads all around, okay? So this is the beauty, and these are the feature which is very near to universe. Universe also spread all around, okay? So women's also spread all around. That's why they more connected with infinity or towards
Or
infinity or
divine
God,
energy.
more than men. But of course, that's is the reality, and I'm not sharing here as a gender war. I'm just sharing here on a spiritual basis, that how the woman has a bright prospect. And because if you see here what the great achievement women have made, from thousands of years, women were not recognized as a human, right? Women were never given a right to vote in a society. They were not rated as a normal human being. Only patriarchal society were existed always. Okay, men were in a leadership position all the time, whether in a political leadership or in a home or in organizations. Now, in last 100 years, everything is reversed. Okay,
Feminine is
women
rising,
are
divine
much
feminine.
more good and mature stage, okay, than men, or as compared to men as well. So therefore, they are becoming more independent, they are more decisive, okay, and they are more in uh, in this field as well, in consciousness, okay. So and if you see the class, I mean classes on spirituality, or where knowledge is sharing, lot of gathering is due to the women. Women are more in crowd of gaining knowledge, getting guidance.
Can
So
I
why
say
women are in ahead in learning more than men? Of course, because their prospect is more good than men.
I think men have the same capacity as women, but men are trapped in making it because men are supposed to be the role model for providing. So I think they're under pressure of expanding spiritually like a woman does. Woman
Yeah.
has more time. So,
Yeah.
but woman has more time to elaborate on things, which men are always running to provide and always under pressure of being the role model. So I think that, but the capacity is the same.
Of course, because
Capacity.
always remember the man and woman, they never existed before. We women and men are evolved human being. Okay, we were evolved from nothing, and now we are still evolving. Okay,
That's
so
right.
these men, like I'm a man and someone is a woman, we were never existed like we think about that we men were forever or women were forever as it is. No, we were evolved, our identities, our being is evolved in this material or seen world, but eventually in a origin way, we all are just soul. We all are just non-dual being.
Yes.
And that is the ultimate reality about us. But in the time scale, we are divided into men and women, and also
Yes.
the other genders now, they are evolving as well.
Yes.
So and other genders are also involving. That is a proof and evidence that we were never men before. We were never women. We have been evolved from some being, seen being, to more other seeing being, and that is how our world is
Yes.
growing and evolving.
I think when a man becomes more in touch with their feminine side, can evolve a lot more. The yin and yang, the positive and the polarity within all of us. I have masculine and feminine, and so do you. So I think if we can balance that, we can evolve into higher dimension or a higher frequency when we can balance this yin and yang inside of us. That's wonderful.
Yeah, very well said, very well said. Well, that's lovely to speak with you and meet you, everyone who is new in our class. So
thank you.
I will see you guys in the next Sunday, the same time, in the next topic, which is on reason, the next level of our consciousness. And we will try to dig out that how the reason we become a wise when we start to achieve acceptance level. And we will also try to learn, when we become wise, is it true that we become a love? Okay, a love, soul with full of love. How is it possible? Because usually we see that many people who have reason or who have more understanding of the things, they usually become arrogant and egoic, and they have, it seems like they are lack of love. But here it is a different news, that when a person become wise and give a reason to every of his or her thought, the next level he or she becomes, that he become a lovable soul or a soul who loves everyone. So how does it work? And that we will discover next Sunday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
God
we'll
bless.
see you next week. And before go, I would request if you can join my YouTube channel, and you can search my name, Maratib Ali Shad, and you will find this my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow my community with the same like people, and that's it. And or even you can subscribe my blog as well. It's a WordPress blog, maratibalishaad.com.
Ali Shad.
That's it.
Ali Shad means happy. Shad means happy, right?
Yes, that's
Yes.
right.
Yes, Ali Shad.
Right.
It was pleasure meeting you. God bless you. Peace.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you
Thank
next
you,
Sunday.
everyone.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you.
great week.
Thank you.
Same
Thank
to you.
You too, everyone.
You.
Bye-bye.